This Three Beards Media podcast may contain mature themes, and if you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Like the podcast. Nailed it!
Drop it.
Welcome back to another edition of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. I'm Ted Holliott. I'm joined here as always with Justin Smool. We are brought to you by Three Beards Media and sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company. We are in week 9 of the NFL season, and we are getting closer and closer to championship week for college football. Justin, what's up, buddy?
Not much, man. Yeah. College season is really winding down, and now for me personally, like, I do find the playoff situation interesting. So we're into that stretch here. So it'll be interesting to see how it kind of unfolds. I think you might be on boat with me here, but I still believe like Oregon is a scary, scary team, but they're on the outside looking in right now. I don't think you want to face them. I think they belong in.
I agree with you there, and I think there'll be some stuff sorted out there too. Look, the Big Ten's got a problem on their hands now. This is all a little weird to me. I don't really care. I kind of hope Michigan runs the table, but they called a board of directors meeting or whatever. And
right,
if you think that the Big Ten, if Ohio State and Michigan are both playing there, we'll talk about it when that time comes, but if this doesn't go away, you watch how many flags are not going to go Michigan's way in that game.
Oh yeah.
Because it's going to take – if there's one or the other, it's –
yeah, they don't want Michigan.
Well, they want them to be the number 2 team getting in, not Ohio State. So
right.
You're at a junior high wrestling meet in the background right now. I still have I just got back from a recorder club concert for second graders. I still have my visitor's pass in there. But yeah, we had a nice bounce back week for our Circa last week. We went 4-1. I think you went 3-2-1 in the NFL. I went 4-1 in the NFL. I had my first winning week in college football. I went 3-2, and you actually had a stinker in college at 1-5 there. But as we always say, we do not run from our records. Again, I went 3-2 in college football, 15-24-1 on the season. And I went 4-1 in the NFL, putting me at 22-19-1 this season. You went 1-5 in college and still above 500 after that week at 26-24. So you're still sitting in a good spot there. And you went 3-2-1 in the NFL for 26-20-2 in the season. That's excellent. And like I said, we went 4-1 in Circa, which got us back up to 22-18. I think that's about close to 60%? It might be exactly 60% actually. So
yeah, we needed that bounce back week, and we got it. And we're now that after this will be the halfway point. So we're right where we need to be.
55%.
Yeah, where we are. It's 2 more 4-1 weeks, man, and you just leap people when you do that. So we just need a couple more of them, and we'll see how it shakes out.
We should have stuck with your initial thought process on your card. You got the Chargers home in your card, and we decided as the week went on, we both kind of decided to throw Denver, both our teams in there too, and we were sitting 4-0 going to Monday Night Football, and your Raiders threw a stinker up there, and they had some movement this week, but we'll get into that when we get to the NFL stuff. So Why don't we jump into our college plays here, get our appetizer menu started. I have 6 plays.
All right.
So I'll go ahead and kick us off here. I'm going back to Nebraska. I was on them last week too. They're at Michigan State. They're between a 2. I got them at a 3-point favorite right now.
Yep.
I think Nebraska's going to win this game too. I just do. We're both full guys, and he's got them. He's maybe even a year ahead of where I thought they'd be at this time. And look, the Big Ten West isn't very good, and Michigan State's not very good either. So I just think this is a game they should go in there and win. And so if I think they're going to win the game, I'm going to take the points.
Sure. No, I don't blame you. I mean, we haven't really talked about it, but they legit have a shot to win the West.
They've got a shot as anything. I mean,
isn't that great? That's wild, though. Who would have
there's a legit chance it comes down to that game between them and Iowa, and the winner goes.
Yeah.
There's a legit chance that's a possibility.
Right. All right. I don't hate it. I'm going to go Arkansas plus 5.5 at Florida. I just think that Arkansas, first off, has been very nice to me this year.
They've been very good to you.
So they're 3-0 on the road. They're catching Florida. Like, Florida's off the Georgia game last week. I feel like that's a great spot to fade them. And Florida has LSU on deck. And I just feel like this is a sleepwalking game. It's the early kick for Florida. And Arkansas is coming off a bye too. Everything here I feel like just lines up for Arkansas just to go in and win this game outright. And what may be under the radar type of game. So I'll take the points.
All right. I can get behind that. I'm going to take Iowa. Everything that went on this week, this is almost like a rallying of the troops deal, and you got Northwestern. It couldn't be a better opponent waiting for you than that after all this stuff. I mean, Northwestern's they're playing hard. They're actually better than I thought they'd be this year with the situation they were in to start it.
I would agree with that.
They're 5-point favorites, and I probably just would have left this game alone. But I just think it's one of those deals to where, man, they really but hey, those kids in the locker room want Brian there. That's definitely the process. It's different in college football than maybe in the pros to where you get that feeling or whatever too. These kids are there for that reason. They probably all got recruited by them. And look, they're getting bashed on for offensively too, so they take just as much offense to it as he probably does. I think this is I think they're going to go crazy and score like 17 points this week.
Yeah,
20. And if they get to 20, they're for sure covering because that defense is still really, really good.
Yeah, I don't blame you actually for taking them. I really thought about it actually for taking Iowa this week. And it for me, like, I don't like just the stuff that Ferentz has said to the media and things like that. I'm not seeing like the kind of the rallying cry that I want to hear. It's more like the poor me type of syndrome. So I don't know if that's like, I don't know the message that's going to carry over into the locker room, right? I could also see like the players feeling like some sort of sense of relief too. It's like, oh shit, finally.
It could be a lot of that. I mean, look, it's unprecedented to have a 6-2 football team have this decision made by an interim AD mid-season with stuff too. But it was a look.
I love her.
It was well, of course you do. You're pushing the button.
Who could have saw this coming?
But you knew Barta was never going to do that. But what a shitstorm Barta left with that whole deal anyway, fully knowing he wasn't going to be around to have to deal with it. It was terrible. Barta, you know what? Barta is the joke. I'm actually a Kirk Ferentz fan. I know you're not, but Barta was everything he did was.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I've never been a Barta guy.
Hey, I give this Beth gal kudos. You know, it's so funny. Like all we heard all week. Or not all week, sorry, like the last 2 years is Brian has to be fired. Brian has to be fired. And now that he's fired, all these people are in uproar. I'm like, what do you guys want? You just got what you wanted. Like, I don't understand. Why?
You can't have fire Brian stuff in the stands. I mean, I've seen some people already flip-flopping on stuff on Twitter. I'm like, yes. You guys have been the loudest people about it. Now you're getting the soft on it.
Yeah.
You did exactly what you guys wanted.
Yeah.
I truly am shocked. The only part I don't get, what's the point of saying it if you're not going to just make the move mid-season? She just went all in on it then. If you're going to do something now, that's what is a little weird to me. It's like, well, what's the point then? You could have had this conversation and been like, hey, this is it. He's not coming back. But why announce it? Is it just is she trying to put her stamp on being the permanent AD?
I think so.
I'm just trying to get the psychology around it. Or just like, hey, season – or you know what it probably is actually? They're probably getting ready to renewals on some season tickets and stuff like that. And maybe that's part of it.
Well, yeah, I think it's I mean, the portal opens in a month.
Think about the portal.
So, I mean, that I think plays a factor too. I mean, just I just think that from the outside, from the national side of things, like people need to know that there's going to be a change and stuff's just going to be different. And there's probably like you aren't just going to wait until January until after the bowl game, whatever bowl game they play on December 27th or 8th or whatever. So, tough decision. Kudos to her. But hey, when you're incompetent, sorry, most people lose their job. Shocker.
I mean, look, it's one of those deals. You never like really, losing a job always sucks. There's a family element to it or whatnot.
Sure.
But it's you're getting paid that. I mean, he's one of the higher tier paid coordinators in the nation, and he's statistically. I mean, no one gets to keep their job that long. It doesn't. It's
No, you're
sign up for it. You don't get to keep it that long.
No.
All right. Well, that's enough time spent on that. But
Okay.
I'm going to take Iowa.
All right, fair. Second, I'm going to take Missouri plus 15.5 at Georgia. Part of me feels like I'm walking into it. Part of me loves it. I don't know what I'm.
They've been living in that. Georgia's been living in that 14.5, 15.5 line, and they have and haven't sometimes too. So I can get behind this play.
Yeah, they aren't covering down. I mean, Georgia's 3-5 against the number this year. They just aren't the same type of team. Don't get me wrong, they're good. Obviously, they're really good, but they just don't look the same, right? And I think Missouri off the bye, we're going to get, pretty hungry. I mean, we're going to get max effort here. You don't have to question that. They're much improved. I don't know. It seems like a lot of points.
Yeah, I can get behind that for sure.
Okay.
I'm going to head back to my boys. They're back down to reality on their lines. I went against James Madison last week. They are my boys. They won their game, but they didn't cover. It was too many points. There was 3 touchdowns, like you said.
I tailed you so hard on that.
It was a perfect spot for that. They just got in the rankings. I think they're ranked like 22nd now too, but they're back to it. It's a trap line, which scares me a little bit because Georgia State's been pretty good against the spread this year too. They're at Georgia State and they're 5.5-point favorites, but I'm taking them. They're on ESPNU at 2:30 again. Watch these guys play. They are fun to watch.
They are fun.
Going back to James Madison at 5.5.
All right, that's fine. Another one. I don't love this, but I'm taking it here. The only reason I don't love is because I don't typically play these types. I'm going to lay it with Oklahoma on the road at Oklahoma State. It's 5.5. I just think Oklahoma State has just overachieved immensely, and I feel like it's playing. They are giving way too much respect here. I mean, when Iowa State beat them granted earlier in the season, there was a point that there were a lot of people that thought Oklahoma State was a bottom 2 team in this league.
You and I talked about this. We talked about who was worse, Iowa State or Oklahoma State at the time.
Right.
And you made my card too. This line is way off. I'm in complete agreement with you and everything you've said.
Okay.
Oklahoma State got rated. This just goes to show you how good a job, honestly, that Gundy and Campbell are doing. What kind of coaches they are, because these are probably 2 of their better coaching jobs.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about they didn't even have a quarterback. They're playing 3 guys, and now look, they're 6-2 and rated.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean Gundy's turn. I mean, more props to him, dude.
I love Gundy. I think he's a great coach, but this is a spot to where look, Oklahoma coming off last week too. This is not a good spot for Oklahoma State and Bedlam. I actually think Oklahoma's going to hang a 2-3 touchdown win on them. I think it's actually great. I don't think it's going to sweat. I really don't.
Yeah. All right. I like
this. Is my favorite play with you on this. So.
Okay. Cool. I'm glad you agree. All right. I'll go off another one here. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, I'm taking Iowa State against Kansas. You disagree?
Kansas made my card.
Oh, all right. I do know what you have against me here for sure is, I went against Iowa State last week, and which generally Campbell struggles. He's brutal in those spots.
He is, and I think you maybe were just a week off on your. Okay. I think you had the thought process right. Yeah. And I think you're just a week off on it.
But here's the thing with me: why I just love the spot. I mean, it's the night game. I'll be there first off.
Nice.
So, but
Kansas is rated. They're coming rated. They're coming
rated. They're coming off that win.
I want you to be right so bad here. I don't want to win this game. Okay. I just, for the reasons you had last week, this is a complete spot play for me where it's like,
I get it.
I love the job Campbell's doing. We're going in such a right direction, but it feels like we should have been dogs here. And I hate that he's favored by this little bit.
Yeah.
So,
I understand.
That's really, I mean, that's where I'm at on it. Look, he's not good in these spots. His record's horrible at it. I mean, he got it done last week with it. So maybe he's turned a corner there. I really, really, really want to be wrong here. But, man, I have a bad feeling we're going to lose this game.
All right. Well,
I hope you're right.
Okay. Fair. All right. I got, let's see. Geez, I used 2 of yours here. So let's go. I'm going to take LSU +3 at Alabama. You and I have talked at it for a long period of time this year and our thoughts on Alabama. And we've pretty much been spot on in regards to that. This is not your same Alabama team.
Almost like you're saying SEC. The SEC is just down this year. It is.
Yeah, they're down. And I think LSU with the mobile quarterback, I think they're going to present a lot of problems. And with Alabama only being -3 here, I think odds makers are tilting their hand here who they actually believe the better team is, and that's LSU. I mean, Alabama only laying 3 at home. Come on.
This is a just miss for me. I actually looked at this game too. If we had to make a circuit card for college picks, I would absolutely be trailing you with this and maybe put it on. So I think you're on the right side here.
All right.
Why don't you give me another one?
Okay. I am going to take – it's been a while. I haven't – but I'm gonna go on it here. And I think they're not getting talked about now. I'm taking Deion. I'm taking Deion +14 at home here against Oregon State. What feels like now the spotlight's off, the juju type, the mojo's kind of gone. This is a big game for them. You know, if they want to go,
that old line better come and play good. He flat out said he's getting new linemen next year. So
he did. So you know what? Hey, you know what? He speaks his mind, and
well, we know what he's doing though. That's how he challenges kids though too. He's like, if you don't like it, play better.
Right. Well,
show me, and that's what he's doing. It's just how he comes off wrong, and I get their kids. I get it, but that's what Deion's doing. That's what he's doing.
Sorry, man. You know what? Coaches are paid to win football games, and and at the end of the day, right? Like he wants to win, so you can't. I
mean, look, dude, they need to snap off one of these that they're not supposed to make a bowl game to have a chance. So
right,
look, I'm not even saying they're going to win, but 14.5 is a lot of points. Like you said, though, dude, his kid is still a first-round draft pick quarterback. Like,
fact.
That's what he is. So anytime you have a quarterback with that kind of talent and you're getting over 2 touchdowns, you always have a chance to cover that. I mean, his kid's that good. He is.
He's top 15.
You're not gonna get me to argue with it.
Yeah.
And he's actually probably doing the right thing by coming back because this is a loaded quarterback room this year coming out. He'll be the front runner.
Yeah, for next year. Yeah. Fact. Yep.
All right, I can get behind that here.
Okay.
All right, I got one play left for college, and I almost took it off.
Uh-oh.
So, but I'm going to leave it on there.
Okay.
I got Washington -3 at USC, and it is just because USC is that bad defensively, but Washington has not been playing well. This is actually probably in USC. Obviously, they're getting all the bad chatter, but this is actually a spot where, this is a spot where USC comes and sneaks one out. That's what scares me about it. But Washington's just better. Washington has not been playing good, but they're just better than USC. So I'm literally just went against all the reasons I tried to get in my head to not do it. I just think this is a team that should go in and beat them by double digits, probably.
Yeah, it does. It feels like Washington,
because Washington can score with USC, and I'm not sure USC can get enough stops to keep this close.
No, I agree. I mean, I do. The only thing that scares me is kind of what you alluded to with this is I think it's going to be pretty popular. But I tell you what, I can't. The Caleb Williams body language stuff, what he does on the side, that he drives me nuts. I do not want any part of that. I know he has a lot of raw talent. Man, I don't like what I see. That type of stuff.
Oh man, I hope he's a Raider so bad now. I hope he's actually no. I don't. They don't deserve that. They deserve. We'll get them the Raiders later. Everything going on there is just great to me right now.
He can go to wherever he goes, it don't matter. I don't want it. Arizona. He can go to Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, they got Kyler. I'm a Kyler guy. I'm not giving up on Kyler yet. All right. Well, that's it. I got 6 plays. That's it for my card.
That's it for me.
All right. So I think I got you for 6 plays as well. So we'll run through those here quick. I had Nebraska -3, Iowa -5, James Madison -5.5. Watch them on ESPNU. They're fun to watch. Kansas +2.5. I hope I lose that one. Washington -3 and Oklahoma -5.5. And like 6 plays also for you, Smule. Got Arkansas plus 5.5, Missouri plus 15 in the hook, OU minus 5.5, Iowa State minus 2.5, LSU plus 3, and Colorado plus 14 in the hook. That'll do it for our appetizer menu for college football. Before we get into our main course, why don't we go ahead and hear a word from our sponsors at Revelton.
At Revelton Distilling Company, everyone has become a part of the Revelton family. From the Taylors and their daughter who helped perfect their award-winning gins, to the team who installed Lucy, our 33-foot-tall custom-made still, right down to the local farms that provide our coveted corn, and even the cows on those farms who consume our mash byproduct. Want to see the farm to flask come to life? Now you can tour Lucy and find out where we take Iowa's harvest and transform it into our finest spirits. Choose between a 45-minute tour or find out even more by scheduling a VIP behind-the-scenes tour to get the taste of the full Revelton experience. You can visit them at 1400 West Clay Street in Osceola, Iowa, or find all of Revelton's award-winning spirits at any local grocery or spirits retailer.
Welcome back here. Again, we are in week 9 of the NFL season here at the Ball Don't Lie podcast. I'm Ted Hawley here, as always, with Justin Smule. Thank you again to our sponsors at Revelton Distilling Company. Thanks again to Chris Spaghetti, our producer in the background here. Smule, great week last week. Combined 7-3-1 for us in our picks. 4-1 again in Circa. Getting right back hot on that too.
Yep.
The card was speaking to me again this week. We said we felt good about it last week. We kind of got dirty again, stayed away from some of the popular picks. We kind of found that trap the week before. So we got back to basics for us.
We did.
Gross game. So it felt good to have that come. But NFL news, hey, your boys were our one miss in Circa. We went with them at +9. It looked bad. Jimmy looked horrible. I mean, Devontae I don't blame him, man. He should have had a 99-yard touchdown. Blew that way by yards. Yeah,
you know what? They needed to do what they had to do, unfortunately, this week. I mean, but you know what? I give credit to Davis because in the past, like some of these guys, like they stick to their guns and sometimes they just burn it down to the ground. And you know what? GM, head coach, and OC all in one day. I mean, that's huge. You just don't see that. I mean, that's a lot.
Well, look, they've only been there a year and a half.
It need to happen.
Look, Daniels isn't a head coach. He was in Denver years ago too. I told you this. This was a horrible hire when you did it.
I never liked it to begin with.
He's not a head coach.
No.
He made it 28 games in Denver. I think he only made it 25 games in Vegas. Right. He'll never be a head coach again. It's done. It's past. It's just where does he land as a coordinator now too? Honestly, I think his offense is a little passed him by too. It kind of worked what they wanted to do in New England there, especially when you have Brady. He did pretty good he's pretty good with a young quarterback. I'll tell you that.
His ego's too big.
Exactly. But the deal with him though is you hit ceilings in his offenses. You hit a ceiling with this. Never he's not innovative like Shanahan, Reed, any of these guys that are really fun to watch. You know what, Kyle? I like Minnesota's HC too. He's what he does there with kind of limited stuff and that too. It'd be interesting to see what he does with his new rookie, where they wait to get Dobbs coached up a little bit, maybe get Mullins off off IR. So we'll see there. But look, Mark Davis did what he kind of had to do. That place is a train wreck. It's a mess anyway. They've been terrible for 20 years. It's gonna be terrible for the next 20 years. Nobody cares anyway. Whoever you draft's gonna suck anyway. So if you don't like Caleb Williams, maybe you should go there because they'll be trash there too. The Raiders are trash. They've always been trash. They're gonna be trash.
Drake.
It's like the opposite of Brad.
How would we get Drake May?
No, I hope not. Because I like Drake May. I do not want Drake May to go there. That would suck if Drake May goes there.
You do not want that. I know that. Yeah.
Man,
and it could happen. But upon them this week, I'm looking forward to just seeing what, Pierce's interview. Talk about a guy that just kind of has your attention. It was cool to just see a whole different demeanor, a whole different type of, personality taking over, right? I feel like these guys walked into practice Tuesday morning high-fiving and hugging each other. You know what I mean? And that's
look, Pierce was that kind of, when he was on TV and stuff too, he has that, more of a, Ray Lewis is too much for me on that side of stuff. He has like the head coach version of of that type of energy you want that comes off there too. It gets
Right.
it's like a little bit of Dion, a little bit of that in your face stuff. It's a complete change. He's in a bad situation. They're in full tank mode, which is why I'm actually shocked they didn't trade Adams. Unless they're just saying, hey, they want this to be a little bit attractive for whoever's coming in and be like, hey, we can get a nice young quarterback for you. You still got two. I mean, Myers is a great number 2, by the way. You have this rookie tight end that isn't doing much right now. You still got Devontae Adams, but I mean, you're paying that guy $30 million a year, not able to get him the football.
No.
Yeah.
Got to start giving him the rock now.
Sure. Well, I have 6 plays for the NFL. I actually have one for tonight.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Will Levis that was my one miss last week was Atlanta, and that's because I didn't see Will Levis being able to spin it like that, man. I know you are not a Will Levis guy at all. You made fun of my brother for taking him in our dynasty league, and that dude does keep receipts. That's already came back out. So that was kind of funny.
He offered him for 30.
But I think you're right a little bit too. I think we saw a little bit too much last week of the good. It's a short week on the road at Pittsburgh. I almost put the Steelers on the card. I'm not going to. I'm going to put the under. I like the under of 37 points tonight. Look, Steelers don't give up points. I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball as well as they did last week. I see like a 13-10, 13-7 boring game. Honestly, I don't even think it's going to be a sweat. I think love the under tonight. So the under.
If I would have, if I would have played this too, it'd be Steelers or nothing. I actually saw right before we came on here. Kenny Pickett's 6-0 against the spread in his primetime games. Guy shows up in primetime. So I'm with. I mean, the Levis thing. Like, I try not to overreact to one game, right? I mean, he looked good. He played well. It was against a good defense, so I give him credit. I give him 100. It's not like, but and maybe he's grown a lot because preseason he looked lost. I mean, there's no debate about that. He was a train wreck.
His last touchdown he threw was a big boy throw.
It was
back foot across the field, a dime to the back of the end zone. And that was like, I was like, that is not everybody can make that throw.
No.
So it was like
he has the arm talent, right? It's not that's never been in question with him.
I also love he's actually more mobile than people think too. He's a big dude. Yeah. Like he looks the part. The other thing I love tonight is I did with my DraftKings boost special. I parlayed that in a single game parlay with over rushing yards for Will Levis at 10.5. I think he's still a rookie. He's going to go out and run. They might even have a designed run or two for him on that too. So I actually really like over 10.5 yards rushing too.
Okay. I don't need
prop play.
Cool. Just don't let TJ Watt sack him too many times.
Well, that's the thing. It's still the Steelers defense in prime time, standalone game. You don't get to kind of come in under the radar in a noon game. Everybody's going to be watching. It's just on a short week too. He's still a rookie.
Yeah. It's a tough spot. So, all right, I'll kick it off here for the Sunday. I have a feeling we're going to agree here, or at least I hope we do. I'm going to the Germany game, and I'm taking the Dolphins.
I also played the Germany game. I'll let you finish your.
Okay, dang. I tell by your facial you're against me. So here's the thing. We had Denver last week, right? And yes, I know in large part probably Denver's a little misleading for the fact that Kansas City had 5 turnovers in the game. But hey, you know what happens. We've also talked about Kansas City a lot. Like they don't look the part. And they're going to slip up. Well, I think, it just happened. And I know the counter for what people are going to say, well, look, Miami, they stepped up and they played, at Buffalo. They got spanked. Well, that was a brutal spot for them at that Buffalo game. And then they got spanked at Philly, which you want my ref conspiracy, I could go on with that. I mean, Philly didn't commit a penalty. Yeah, okay. So,
we were both on Miami that week too.
We were. So I think it's a horrible matchup for Kansas City's defense. I really do. I do not think Tyreek Hill is going to have a field day. By the way, Chiefs are not used to traveling over here. Miami is. I think that's a big factor. I don't know. I believe Miami hangs the number here.
I need to see what the field conditions are like too, because that could go not in Miami's favor with their speed. Look, I put Kansas City on the card, and it's a straight spot play for me too. I like Miami. They're cute and they're fun, but it's like maybe it's just because Andy Potoff's been pissing me off talking about the Dolphins too much. That's a really good possibility. I just don't know if Andy Reid's going to lose 2 games in a row. Look, the line opened at 2.5. It's down to 1.5 now. So, yeah, I'm against you here. I'm not real confident on it, to be completely honest with you, too.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, I am opposite on you here. So I got the Chiefs.
Okay.
Give me one more.
All right. I will. Oh, how ugly do you want me to go?
Ugly.
Okay. Let's go back to the well with Carolina. We had him last week on our card, and I like him again. I think it's more what we talked about. Reich's not calling the plays. That guy's atrocious at calling plays. And Carolina off the bye week, they're going to feel refreshed, right? This team's not going to quit. Young, rookie QB. They played hard. Big win. The Colts, something's wrong with the Colts defense. Something is drastically wrong here. All they do is give up points. The last 3 games have been horrible. I think Carolina comes. I don't see why if the Texans were favored by almost the same number, I don't see why the Colts should be favored by here in the spot.
We're off to a bad start.
Yeah, you're on the Colts.
I'm on the Colts. Minus 2.5.
On your card?
I have the Colts in my card.
There's not many games.
I know. So we're off to a bad start. This might be a really hard week for us.
Okay, this is going to be a tough week. All right.
I agree with you. Their defense is a problem. I think they're about equal with the Texans, to be honest with you here on that too. So I actually understand the line. My reason for taking the Colts here is I agree with you 100% about their defense, but the Panthers still only scored 13 points last week. They did get the win, but they still only scored 13 points. I think the Colts can run the football down their throat and keep their defense off the field. I think it's going to be a sweat. I think this is an appropriate line. But I think between their 2 backs, it looks like Moss is going to play too. I think they can run the football, and I like Gardner Minshew. I think he's good enough. They got some okay receivers too. I think they can do enough offensively to make up for their defense. And honestly, like they're probably a better team to win games. They're not as excited. I like Richardson, but him being out for the year. I mean, Gardner Minshew's a better quarterback right now than Richardson is, but it's just too bad he didn't get to have this season to get reps and get going too. The Colts made my card. We're off to a bad start.
Yeah, we are. We haven't had this all year.
Give me another one this time. Don't pick one of my games the opposite way.
Oh man, I don't. Gosh, okay. Ugly. I'm laying it with Green Bay -3.
Interesting. Keep going.
Okay, so
you can possibly talk me into this making the card. They're not in my card, but I look at this game.
Well, the line's telling me Stafford's out, which I think is a big deal. And the Rams have regressed a lot here in the last couple of weeks. We already know I've said Green Bay's bad all season, and I've been against them from the get-go.
You called them right preseason. You called them right.
Yeah, but
I missed
But my thing with Green Bay is with a young QB in LaFleur still, like they're not going to allow this to tank and try and unfold, right? They are still motivated.
They are not trying to tank, no.
They are not. So they're still playing hard. I do question the effort of the Rams with Stafford now being in question or being out. I do think that's a problem with a veteran group of guys. When a QB goes down like that, the effort level, it's like, oh, damn, man. Like the season's unfolding right before their eyes. So it's a bad.
They didn't look right with Stafford either. I mean, Kupp and them. Kupp was boomed out in fantasy when he came back, and he was awful the last 2 weeks too. So there's a really good chance this will make our circuit play.
Okay,
a really good chance. I can get behind
it. All right.
I got one here that I think you're going to agree with.
Okay.
I really do. I hope.
Okay.
I got Seattle +6. Are you on Baltimore?
No, I'm not. I'm not on the game. I'm not on the game.
So here's why. So the Ravens either look like there is 2 Ravens.
Yep.
They are Jekyll and Hyde when they play. So you just need to be right on the side of this too. It feels like when they're in games where they're either dogs or small favorites, supposed to be a good game, they come out and just blaze in and beat you down on it too. Games like this, they probably should win. They're not. Seattle's in first place right now.
Yeah.
In the division, they're sitting there with the chance to run in the playoffs. They opened up the year getting trounced by the Rams, and we're like, what was that? Look,
Right.
Seattle is definitely not that. That was just a fluke, flush the toilet game because those teams went in opposite directions after that. The Rams look terrible right now. Like you just spent time with them there. I kind of like Seattle, man. I really like them as dogs. This is a spot for me too, to where I think they'll take the air out of the ball as long as they can stay away from turnovers from Geno and not let those big runs come from Lamar. I think they can keep this game close.
Yeah,
so I thought it was a lot of points. I liked getting 6 there.
Okay, I don't hate it. The Geno in the red zone is a problem. He's not as bad as Derek Carr, but he is an issue in the red zone. The Seahawks last week,
they need this to be low scoring to cover. By the way, if this gets
100%.
if that gets up in there, there's no way they're covering 6.
No.
If this game's in the 30s, like if Baltimore scores 31 points,
Yeah.
the Seahawks are not covering.
No, it needs to be like 24-20.
At max.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I agree, but I agree with your take too in terms of I don't look at Baltimore. Baltimore's not. This isn't where you look to play Baltimore when they're laying 6. You play Baltimore when they're +2. So yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from with this. But Seattle just didn't make it for me. But I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
All
So
right. I thought you were going against me there. I was like, oh my god.
No, I wasn't. I know you're against me on one later one, so I'll just say
I know. That's why I know. I know I am.
I'm going to take Dallas +3 at Philly. I think the Eagles to the Chiefs in an extent are a little bit of fool's gold. Eagles are good. I'm not saying they're bad, but it seems like they're just
so is Dallas. Dallas is just good too, and I'm not a Cowboys fan, but they're good.
Yeah, they're good.
And they're not happy with how their first game went with these guys. Or no, sorry, with the Niners. This is their next chance to play another big boy like the Niners. They got embarrassed. Jerry Jones is still talking about it. This is a chance for them to get this team out there.
And you got to, and people are forgetting. So, alluding back, that's great. I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, so that game when Dallas played at San Francisco, you will agree that was San Francisco's peak at the highest peak of the season, and that line was only 3.5. And Dallas, like the Eagles, and when San Francisco was at their peak, the Niners were still better than the Eagles are currently. You know,
when the Niners are peaking, when they were out there too, that's a Super Bowl winning team. They're not there right now. Brock's got to play better. I don't like what's going on there. I feel bad for him. It's a lot of chatter. But the problem is that Shanahan knows he's not going to rip him out.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah. But anyway, I think Dallas is – I think they're underrated here, man. They aren't getting enough credit. I don't like him either, but I like him in this spot. And you know, I listened to some guys in Vegas. They had an interesting take on they think how Hurts is actually more hurt than what they say. And that is because on that stupid tush push, they said, why would you fake it there if you're not afraid of Hurts? Because you're already up in the game. The game was essentially decided. Why won't you just go down? And they said, and there's no reason for them to show the fake when you're up and roll it out for this week before you're playing a premier opponent. So I think there's some smoke there to that. I thought that was good insight.
I back off a little bit when they do line up when they have to do it. There's not many guys in the pile. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I look at this game too, and I just was like, man, I couldn't wrap my head around it. But if I had to pick the game, I would take the Cowboys and the points.
Okay.
So I'm with you here too. It would be Cowboys or nothing for me here. I wouldn't take the Eagles.
Yeah. All right. Well, we might have 3.
Well, I'll give the one I know we're going to disagree on here.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we did talk about it a little bit earlier this week.
Yep.
The Raiders are favored.
Oh no, this isn't the one.
We're gonna have another one we're off on. Great.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Giants +2.
Okay.
What is Daboll doing? I think we're both Daboll guys.
Yeah, we are.
What the hell are you doing? Kicking the field goal there at all? It's 4th and 1 with 38 seconds left.
Yep.
The game is 10-7. There's been no offense all day from anybody. Zach Wilson hasn't done anything. But so my point to that is if you kick the field goal and everything goes right and it goes in, you still have to give them the ball with a chance to lose the game.
Yeah.
Like, you can still lose the game. I get it. It's not but why not just go for it in 4th and 1 and try to get 1 yard and game's over?
Right.
In the worst case, you don't get it. You still have to make them go the length of the field to try to get a long field goal to tie the game, which is what happened anyway, because you missed the field goal and gave them the ball back. Yeah. So either way, you were giving them the ball back. The one chance you had to lose a game is to give them the ball back.
Yeah.
Go for it in the game. I did not like the call. He missed a field goal. They went down on a weird deal. The ref, look, they didn't spot the ball right. I did see the ref come in and touch it, so technically it was live on it too. No, you're not supposed to be allowed to touch the ball. Usually the ref comes in and actually sets it back. He didn't. He walked in, like, slapped it and backed out. But look, the Jets went and stole one. I mean, that has to be. And you were on the Jets there, so you gotta push on that game, which was nice for you. But I just think there's a stink in them out there too with the Giants. We talked about it last week too. They're not as good as they were last year. They're definitely not as bad as their record is this year.
No.
I just don't think the Raiders are very good. Aiden O'Connell is still a very young quarterback. I get it. You can do the rally the troops, that whole thing here too. But I think the Giants are going to win this game. I really do. Yeah,
I mean, I don't disagree. It's like, even when it comes to my team, I'm extremely realistic. Like we took the Patriots against the Raiders in a gross lot. I mean, so I more or less really look to play against them when I can. And I don't disagree with any of the logic here regarding it. I'm not on the Raiders here.
Okay, I thought you were going to be.
No. I'm not on it. Would I be stunned if they won this game? I wouldn't, right? I just think the firing of too many coaches is probably catches up to him here, and Aiden O'Connell, right? I don't know, or maybe it's just balls at the wall all out, and he's in shotgun and he's just slinging it all over the field. I don't know. We don't know.
I don't think. I honest to God think Mark Davis is in tank mode. No, he does not want to win games. There's only one way to go get a quarterback right now. You're not going to get one in free agency. They whiffed. They haven't got the guy they wanted to.
No.
And McDaniels maybe wanted Garoppolo. No, it's just stupid. Derek Carr sucks, but he's a better option than Garoppolo.
Yeah.
The only way to go get it is that. Go get a young guy and try to convince these guys you have in these ticket holders to come see fun football. You don't get rid of that many coaches and a GM and all that stuff.
Yep.
If you're not trying to tank a little bit. So I truly think they're not trying to win.
Yeah. The only one counter to that probably is, McDaniels had lost the whole locker room. So there could be this short little rally cry here for him being gone, right? People really did not care for him at all.
No, they didn't. So, but who's calling plays? Like you said, though, who's calling plays? Who's doing what? There's not just a bunch of people that can call plays on rosters too. Calling plays is a very hard thing to do.
Sure.
Coordinating football games is very hard to do. This is a new spot. Look, it could be fine. We'll see. I just think that there's such a stink in Dayball's mouth on how mad he messed up last week that I think they're going to come in and win this game.
Yeah. All right. No, that's fair. I mean, this might actually make it for us. I'm not against it.
Okay.
But here's the one that I know you're against, and it's the Bills. I like the Bills. I like the Bills here a lot, actually. It's, to me, the numbers. The Bengals are like fool's gold, and they have in yards per play, they're 28th in the NFL. Their defense in yards per play given up is 27th. I mean, this team, they gave up 8.2.
I think those are a little skewed though from their first month. Like I told you though, they were so beat up, and Burrow was beat up. Burrow looks like Burrow again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that, but they gave up 8.2 yards per play last week. I mean, that's a real number. That's bad.
Let's talk about the Bills too. If you want to start going through some
numbers. Oh yeah, no. Hey, look, I don't think the Bills are great, but I don't think Cincy has the defense to put any pressure on Allen, and that's where I think Allen's going to dance back there and just throw it all over the yard.
I'm going to do you one here on how much I disagree with you on this.
I knew you did.
This just missed for me actually. The Bengals.
Okay.
This one will not make our card because we cannot disagree.
I knew it wouldn't.
The Bengals are not only going to win this game, but they do. This is going to eliminate the Bills from the playoffs. The Bills are not going to make the playoffs this year.
Well, whoever loses this game is out.
You know what? I almost maybe agree with you there too. I think the Bengals can right the ship still on it. The Bills have problems. They lost way too many people on defense. They lost. Is it Milano? Is that who their middle linebacker is?
Yeah, the linebacker Milano.
Losing him was such a big deal, and they have so many injuries across that defense. I think Cincinnati is going to run it up and down the field on them. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. That they haven't done very good all year. I think they're going to be able to run the ball in Buffalo, and I know they're going to be able to throw. Their receivers are awesome. I mean, Tyler Boyd is a wide receiver too in this league for any team you want. He's their number 3.
I agree with that for sure.
So they have weapons there. You know what? It could be if the Bills lose this game, I don't think they're making the playoffs. I really don't.
I would agree.
Because I think Miami is going to slap on the next time they play.
I agree with that too. I do. I believe loser is eliminated from the playoffs here.
We might just have to make a side bet on this just because.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Right. I need to disagree with that, but I do have another one I like. So
I have one more too.
Okay, go ahead.
You go ahead. I'm hoping we agree on it.
All right. I'm laying it with the Chargers on Monday night, and I know you hate this team, and I don't like them.
I was on the Chargers last week.
Yeah.
This just missed for me because I liked it, and I put it in for my plays with Farah because they're at -3. That extra half hook that went up today is the only reason I missed my card. I love this play.
Okay. I think the Jets little too much love. You've already hinted. You went into depth on the fake win last week. I don't need to elaborate anymore there.
It was an ugly game. It was horrible. They did nothing.
They did nothing. And you know what? The Chargers, we already know what they are, but I tell you what, they're a team to kind of keep your eye out for here. And I don't think the Jets, they aren't the home run strike, but I think Herbert is going to dink and dunk all day long against that defense. And I think he'll get his 6-7 yards per play and just go these 10 plays, 6-minute drives.
Eckler is a weapon, man. And not just run the ball, but he's great in the pass game too. He's really, really good.
So I think it's a great time to fade the Jets off that fake win. Chargers, I had them last week. We had over the Bears. They got right in that sense, but hey, they're looking to get back to 500 here. There's a lot of motivation for them in this game.
No, we said last week the Chargers. That's why we like them.
Yeah.
And no, they didn't make our circuit play, did they?
No, they didn't. I had them on my card though.
That was I'm thinking of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You did have the Chargers on your card last week. We had the Raiders in our circuit.
Yeah.
I got 2. Yeah, because the Chargers had to win. I had the Chargers in my teasers. The reason I had them at 2 is because I got them down at 2.5 last week. Is because they had to win that game. They're done. And they're probably still need to win this game too. So there's a really good chance this will make our circuit.
All right. Well, we're getting closer.
If it didn't go up to 3.5, it would have made my card. I loved it at 3. That was the only reason I cut it off was the hook.
All right, fair.
No, just because they're still the Chargers, they can still and we hate their head coach. We absolutely hate. That's the reason it's hard to bet them. Is because Staley's such a dipshit.
It is.
You talk about another guy who should not be. He should not have that job.
No.
That defense has been so bad since he got there, and they brought him in because they thought they had their quarterback. They're going to let whoever have him. They brought him. You don't have to worry about it. So you just concentrate on the defense and get that right. The defense has been atrocious since he's been there. And they've been bad in spot plays. Just blitzing. Yeah, hate it. I hate Staley. He's like McDaniels. I wish he would stay with the Chargers forever. And I wish Josh would have stayed with Vegas forever. I wish they both would have stayed right where they were at.
Well, Staley ain't going to be there much longer either. So.
No. Especially they miss the playoffs this year. He might, if they get eliminated during the season this year, he will be gone before Black Monday.
Fact. Yep. Fact.
He'll be the minute they become eliminated from playoffs, done, and they'll give a couple games to the kid from Dallas,
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. The minute that happens, they're going to give him a chance to get a look at him and see how it goes. Guaranteed.
Yep. Fact. I agree with that.
All right, I got one play left here, and that is I think I can maybe talk you into this one.
All right.
The Vikings are 4.5-point dogs at Atlanta. And again, I'm either betting on or against Atlanta every week. It feels like I feel about the Falcons on that too.
This is the ugliest game of the week.
This is the ugliest game of the week, and that's why I love it. I actually like Heineke. I think this is a really good move for them and that offense moving forward on it too. I just think this is too many points. I get it. You got this kid doing whatever, but the reason I like this game is because Minnesota's defense is so improved this year under Brian Flores, and he is blitzing like crazy. His blitz rate is like 56% last week or something like that, crazy. And the next closest was like in the mid 30s. They're blitzing that much more than everybody else. And even though I do like Heineke, he is a gunslinger. He'll give you one or two. And I think
he's going to.
And I think as much as they blitz, that they're going to have there's a really good chance at a pick six or a big play on that to give one back. And I just think 4.5 is too much. If Kirk Cousins was playing this game, this wouldn't be the spread here. It'd probably be closer to a pick 'em.
Yeah. No, it would be actually. Yeah, it would be a pick 'em.
So I just think this is way too much to go on this too. And even though I'd like to move to Heineke, he was still a backup quarterback last week. It's too many points. I think the line has moved way too much, and that defense is too good. I think they're going to cover. They might not win this game, but I think they can cover 4.5.
All right. I don't hate it. How about that? I don't hate the play. The Hall kid from BYU. BYU kids scare me.
Hey, that's fair, man. That's fair.
It's not. I don't know. I mean, I kind of was reading about him a little bit. I mean, I remember I've watched him play in college, but
he's pretty athletic.
Yeah, he's mobile and stuff.
They have a whole week to get him ready. I don't feel like they're going to put him in some spots to lose games. He's not coming off cold. I think they're going to dumb it way down for him. And the problem is they can't run the football either.
Yes, that is an issue for sure.
The part that scares me. So maybe he can give you a little bit of that. Maybe he can help in the run game a little bit.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Because Kirk couldn't do that. Kirk is great at playing on time doing that, but that dude is slow.
That's a fact. No, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't hate this play. I don't hate the play.
All right. Well,
if I had to play it, it's Vikings or nothing. How you were with Dallas, this would be Vikings or nothing for me.
Cool.
So, yep.
Wow. You got any more?
No, I mean,
what were you thinking about? Tell me what you were thinking about.
The Commanders.
Dude, it's so funny you say that. The same reason. So the Commanders are in for my plays on Ferris deal too. I like them better at 3.5. When I went down to 3, it's the same reason with the Chargers that took it off. I actually kind of like the Commanders too.
All right. We got decisions, man.
We're gonna have a hard week.
Yes.
We don't have a week. We got like 24 hours to figure out what
we're doing. Right. Yeah, we got 24 hours
with these surgical plays. So.
Oh shoot.
That's fine. All right, man. I'll run through our picks here quick. I had 6 plays for both of us. I had the Giants +2, Kansas City -1.5, the Steelers Titans under tonight at 37, Seattle +6, the Colts -2.5, and the Vikings +4.5. I had 6 plays for you as well. I had Miami +1.5. Carolina +2.5, Green Bay -3, Dallas +3, Buffalo +1.5, and the Chargers -3, and the hook. Again, appreciate all the listeners there too. Appreciate our sponsors at Revelton Distilling Company. Thanks again to Chris Spaghetti in the background running this stuff for us. Happy as always to be with Three Beards Media. It's been a great marriage so far. You have anything else to add before we get out of here?
No, man.
All right, let's stay hot. And as always, I'm Ted Smule. Cash that ticket.